How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Aggies game from last night. Today's Friday, the 13th, which probably not the greatest day. Maybe this video is not going to go well. Just joking, obviously. Yesterday, on the 12th, Thursday, the Aggies played against Texas on the road. I think a lot of Aggie fans, unfortunately, knew the outcome of this game was going to be an L. We lost by 24, which you look at the score, like, oh, they got blown out. But considering we're playing against Texas, who will more than likely make the tournament, they're 8-2. They're always a good team. They're always a ranked team. They're always out there. They're not ranked yet, but I'm sure they will be later in the year. I mean, they're a hell of a team. They're SEC. They're all that. So losing by 24 to them, honestly, isn't as bad. I'm just glad it wasn't 40 like it was to Kentucky last year. Our women's basketball team, they're actually doing really good this year. They're 6-3, but they lost to Texas by 40. Mind you, Texas is like number 5 in women's basketball, or even higher maybe now. But gonna talk about the game and how we started off strong, but and how we shot the ball, honestly, better than we have most games, but just how Texas' shooting killed us. When it comes to our shooting, I was very impressed with our free throw shooting. We shot 11 for 13 from the free throw line, about 86%, which I think is probably the best we've done all year. There was a game last year against Sam Houston. We actually shot like 97% from the free throw line. We still lost that game. We lost this game too. And a lot of times when we struggle with free throws, we somehow win. So it's crazy how that works. I remember that game last year against Sam Houston. It was Brandon Suggs at the line. I think, and the commentator was like, oh, they're 8 for 8 from the line, and he missed it. I always say the commentators curse, but the commentators yesterday actually really supported the Aggies, saying a lot of good things about them, talking about our win against UNM, hyping us up, and pretty much saying that we're gonna have a good future. I'm not sure if it was confirmed, but I know Coach Hooten, the Texas coach, they're pretty good friends. They know each other for some time. I don't know, can't remember if they played against each other before, but I think that's why they set this game up. After the game, you saw them shake hands, and Coach Hooten knows a lot of those guys. I mean, Coach Hooten pretty much lived in Texas his whole life, so he knows a lot of those Texas teams. I was even watching that Texas A&M Corpus Christi game back, and it looked like he knew a lot of those coaches as well. Probably same with ACU. Well, actually, maybe not, because I remember he went to go shake the coach at ACU's hand when he walked off, and the coach, he shook his hand, but it didn't seem like they were like, close like that. Shot about 46% from the field, only like 30-something% from three. Texas shot just under 60% from the field, shot about the same from three from us, and then they actually only shot 73% from the line. But overall, they shot better, and we started off the game kind of, I wouldn't say slow. I don't think we ever had the lead. We started off, in Texas, it was like both teams were on fire, to say. Like, we were only down 12-8, and then all of a sudden we were down 31-12. And we, started making our shots consistently at the start. I think we were like 4 for 5 or something like that at the start. And then we had like a stretch where we missed 9 out of 10 shots, and Texas just took advantage of it. And that's just where the game was. We didn't get back under 20 after that. We got down by as much as 30, cut down to 24. Thanks to Christian Cook playing a great game. We played a really good second half, honestly. Because at the end of the first half, how much were we down by? I think we were down by 20 something. We ended up losing by 24. So the second half, I don't think we got outscored that much. Maybe we outscored them. I can't remember exactly. You guys had to let me know. Because I can't remember what the score was at halftime. So we lost by 24, 91-67. Christian Cook played another great game, 22 points. For him to have a game like that against a great team like Texas on the road, very impressive. I saw a picture, some people were at the game, so shout out to you Aggie fans that went to the game. If you're watching this video, comment that you made it. And let me know too, because I saw some of the pictures. It didn't look like there was that many fans of the game, which I was surprised about. You think there'd be a lot more people going to that game, but maybe they're looking at the schedule like, oh, we're playing against the teams with 4 and 5. We're playing, no one's from our conference, still non-conference games, which I think needs to switch up. A lot of those SEC teams or Big 12 teams or just big boy schools in general, they seem to play against a lot of lower level schools in their pre-conference schedule. And it's like, you got to play actual competition that compared to you guys. Like, I think we have a solid squad, but obviously compared to SEC schools, it's going to be hard for us to win. Those guys need to start playing guys that are bigger and better or similar to them. I know they just got it off a game, a tough loss against UConn, but they only play like 1, 2, maybe 3, other, top 25 AP teams or teams that have a chance to make the tournament. Speaking of players going off in the second half, Zodie Jackson had 14 points, with most of them coming in the second half. Jaden Harris had 11. I believe all those came in the second half. Same with Peter Filipovic. He had like 10, and I believe something about half. He had about half in the second half, I think. A lot of halves. One player that didn't get it done as much as I would like to was Rob. He only had 2 points. He only took 5 shots. His only points were a putback lay. So thankfully he missed that. Deontay Bostic started the game off pretty strong. He had 6 points overall. He started again. He missed a layup. There's something going on. He missed a layup against the AC also. And they weren't like wide open layups, but they were like, somewhat guarded, but Deontay should be able to finish that. And I think he's athletic enough to dunk it. Remember that scrimmage game they had against Western where he got a one-hand dunked it. Like, it was super easy for him. I think he needs to start just doing that, honestly. And he's a pretty strong dude based on what I've seen. I think he can just muscle his way in. I don't know if he gets in his head or if he just thinks, I don't know. Because those are points that we need that you can't miss out on. I think that would have cut the lead to like 2 points early on. Probably wouldn't have done much, but we need all the points we can get in games, any game. It doesn't matter if you're blowing the team out, getting blown out, close game, somewhat blowout, whatever it may be. You need those points whenever you can get them. since it was a blowout, it was nice to see, Xavier Johnson, Christopher Bayaku, Jacoby Osborne Jr. His family was at the game, actually. I saw them post about it on Twitter. So they got to see their boy go out there and play a little bit. So I think that was awesome. I know he lived in Texas for some time. Obviously, Gabe Pickens, he's always in the rotation as well. He's doing a lot of great things. I actually met him for the first time at Corbett Center a couple days ago. So what's up to him. Like I've said in previous videos before for this game, I knew it was going to be a game that we more than likely wouldn't win. I was hoping we would have competed a little bit better other than just the first 5 minutes. I thought we had a chance to just because Texas hasn't really played anybody. But that just wasn't the case. But again, we, held our own. I wouldn't say maybe not held our own, but like in the second half, it was a lot better. And honestly, like I said, it was honestly from like I'd say the 15-minute mark of the first half to the end of it is where we just didn't play great. I thought we played pretty good basketball for about 25 minutes, but obviously if you're going to play only good basketball for 25 minutes and not the other 15, you're not going to win a lot of basketball games that way. It was crazy too watching the game, and then even just looking at the highlights. Like Zadi was playing pretty good defense. We had some good defense on their guys. They were just knocking them down. I can't remember all their names, but they had like 4 guys score double figures, just like our guys. They had some guys that could have scored 20. The biggest thing that we're lacking right now is bench scoring a lot of the times. I mean, Jaden had 11 on the benches, is great. It's mainly from our posts. I love our posts. I love the Shimanga brothers, but they just haven't been getting it done as much recently. And I know they can. They just got to find a rhythm. They play against Southern Utah, and I believe Nate Shimanga, he was at Utah Valley, so I'm sure they played against each other in the WAC and stuff, like a little rivalry, so maybe he'll be familiar with them. I know he had 10 points against ACU. That was like his best scoring game. I think those guys can definitely dominate a lot better. That's why I do miss Casey a lot. Again, I know Casey was a little bit slower at times and not as mobile as the Shimanga brothers or even Edward, but Casey could still get buckets, and these guys haven't shown to be consistent buckets. I think they're only averaging like 3 points a game. And Edward Namiko, he hasn't been getting a whole lot of run either. And neither has Carl. I know Carl's not a big, but he's more of a forward, but he hasn't been getting as much minutes recently either. So hopefully he can start getting the rotation a little bit more, do some things. It's hard to say because I don't think skill level is up there, but Christopher Bayaku, I mean, he's only 6'7", he's a 6'7" forward, but maybe there's a chance that Coach Wooten tries him out more because I know he's trying to wake people up like, hey, your spot can be taken any day of the week. And I know Coach Wooten loves Bayaku's hard work. I'm hoping to see him, I think I said last video, I'm hoping to see him and Xavier Johnson get some buckets. They haven't scored this season yet. They've only played in a couple games. So I want to see those guys get some buckets when they play against teams like Northern New Mexico and University of Southwest. If we can take advantage. University of Southwest is off to a great start. They started like 6-2. They've lost 3 straight. Northern New Mexico just won a game, but they're 3-13. Those should be games that the Aggies should win, but I don't want them to get ahead of themselves because Texas, I think even UNM did it. They probably went in the game thinking they're going to beat us because they're at home. Not a lot of guys that have played the pit. We're on a 5-game losing streak, and we ended up beating them. Texas, I'm not sure how they went in the game, but they got the job done, won by 24. That's what we need to do against guys, like Northern New Mexico and University of Southwest. No disrespect towards them. I think that Southwest has a pretty good program. I think they have a good coaching staff. Northern, they always work hard. But those are just teams we should be able to beat. And if we don't, then it's like, or if it's like closer like that game last year against Northern that I talk about all the time, that game felt like a loss. That was super scary. And then the UNM game, we lost by 1, felt like a win. I know I say it all the time, but at least we got our get back at UNM this year. It would have been nice to beat them 2 times in a row with a rebuilding team. That would have been awesome. But hey, once is better than none, right? Just need more out of our post play. Our guards are playing really good. We have some really good guards like Christian Cook, Zadi Jackson. I talk about those guys a bunch. Deontay has a chance to be really good. He's to fix his shot a little bit. That game against UNM was his best game of the year. He looked like himself. He looked like the Cal State Northridge guy that we know that averaged 15 a game and led their team in scoring, had 4 rebounds. I feel like he has a chance to be a really great player in Conference USA once conference play starts. I think he can be really good. Maybe win a couple Player of the Weeks. I know I was saying something about him being Player of the Year. That Daniel Basho guy for La Tech is super good. I remember he played at Texas Tech with one of my favorite players, KJ Allen, who was on Last Chance U. Which again, if you guys go to the game against Southern Utah, you guys have watched the Last Chance U documentary season 2. JT Langston, he plays in Southern Utah. So I want to try to get his attention. I want to try to say something to him like, hey bro, I've seen you on Netflix, probably won't be able to, but I'll try. I'll try my best. I think at halftime too, there's like a wiener dog race. My boy Jeremy's going to be there. I know his friends, they have some dogs or whatever they're going to have in it. So it's going to be a super cool halftime. It'll be even more super cool if you can win. Southern Utah's 8-3. They lost to a really good Arizona team who's honestly, they're 4-4. They were hoping to get up to a better start, but they're still Arizona, kind of like how we lost to Texas. They lost to Arizona by, I think, 36. We lost to Texas by 24. So we're both coming off big losses. They have a little bit more of a break than us, but we are coming off fresh. So, I think it'll be a great game regardless. I think it'll be super close. Again, when I looked at the analytics, I'm not sure. It just showed that we have like 70% chance to win. So I'm not sure what the over-under is, but I would assume we're like 3 to 5 point favorites. I'm expecting the close game. I would love to blow them out of the water if we can, but if we do get up to a fast start like we did against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, want to make sure we can actually win the game and keep the lead and not blow it. Even though we did win that game, I would hate to have the chance of us blowing it because I feel like that always happens. Not just the Aggies, but all my sports teams, Blazers. Even in football, I'm not really big into NFL really, but I've been getting more into it recently. Technically, I'm a Seahawks fan, but I'm more of a casual fan. But they've done it before too. Like they did against the Rams earlier this year. They're playing better recent though, which is great. I'll close out by saying this: we're 4-6, could easily be like 6-4, 7-3. But if we can beat Southern Utah, improve to 5-6, and then at that point we have 2 NAIA schools that we should be able to win and dominate at home. If we don't, then we're screwed. Should be able to win those games, improve to 7-6. If we're 7-6 by the time conference starts, that's honestly not that bad. Having a winning record before conference starts, and yeah, you're like, okay, 7-6, but 3 of those wins are against non-D1 opponents, so they're only like 4-6 against D1 teams. But you look at last year before conference started, we were like 6-9. We only had 2 wins against non D or yeah. How did I word that? We had 2 wins against Division I teams. The other 4 wins were against, the non-D1 teams. And there was a point where we were like 5-9. There was a stretch like this. We were 4-6 last year. So if you look at last year, like, oh, okay, they're both 4-6. They're pretty similar teams, right? But then you look at it, like their only win last year at this point was against, their only quality win was against Northern Colorado. We had to come back to win that game. This year we at least have some more quality wins. 2 road wins, which is already more than last year. I forgot if I mentioned that last video. So there's definitely improvement. This seems way more deep, way more talented. I'm just super excited to see them get together. Obviously, again, that UNM win was great. I feel like most Aggie fans weren't expecting to win yesterday. Would have been great. I think a lot of Aggie fans probably were expecting to be a little bit more competitive, but again, 24-point loss to a great Texas team. It honestly could have been worse. That's like your average blowout, right? If we do lose against Southern Utah, I'll be a little disappointed because I think it's a team. Again, Southern Utah, they're a great team. No disrespect. I just think we can beat a lot of teams at home. Thought we should be at ECU, but I feel like we can beat a lot of solid teams at home. I think if we played at Southern Utah, it might be a different story. I'm so glad we have them at our place. It'll be great to go to a game. Be the last game I go to for about a month. And then I know they have 4 straight home games after that as well, so 5 straight overall, but I can't go to them. Obviously I'll be in Washington. That's another thing I want to say too. If you guys have been watching my videos since the summertime, you're gonna see the OG background. You're gonna see the OG that room again. Hopefully it's cleaned up. My brother, he doesn't like to clean that room a lot because he uses it for his little videos. He just reached 100 subscribers, so shout out to him. Thanks for closing the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I need a haircut badly. I'll make a video on the Southern Utah game probably that night. Try to upload on that Tuesday morning. And then after that, that's when you'll see my videos in Washington. I might even add a couple clips of me on the plane or going places, whatever. Because I'm going to be in 3 different states in one day. Obviously, Texas, El Paso's right there. You guys know how it is. But it's technically still a different state. And then be in Washington later that day. And then obviously be traveling through a bunch of states. It's weird too because I have a layover in Seattle. And then I have a flight from there to Bellingham. It's like a 2-hour drive about. And so the flight's going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be super quick. But can't wait for the break. I mean, the break's already started for me. I believe I got about 4 A's, only 1 B. I think next semester I have a good chance of getting all A's, and then for the rest of the semesters after that, because I focus just on journalism classes, and my minor is social media management, so we focus on that as well. Another thing before I close the video, I want to shout out to my boy Diego who got me the shirt. Hopefully he's watching the video. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I hope you guys enjoyed the video though, and I'm out.